right, I'm letting you all know that we're recording. I'm really, really glad you guys are here watching live for those of you I see on the screen right now, and I'm happy about that. And if you're watching it again recorded when I send it out to you, I'm super, super glad you're here because I know there's a lot of different places you could be, a lot of different things you could do with your time. So my name's Dr. Darcy Lord, and as we're recording this, this is March. Every month. I've been doing it. This is more than a year, almost a year and a half now. The first Tuesdays of the month. And you are welcome to leave as soon as you need to, young lady. Absolutely. Yeah, it definitely will go until 7:45 my time, 4:45 your time. And then if people ask questions, I'm always kind about staying if people have questions and things. So the first Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. Eastern time and 4 p.m. Western, the first Tuesday, I always do hold on, I'm looking for the chat so that I can see what's happening in there. It's just a free online program. And my stuff, if you don't know me yet, is threefold. I'm a self-love expert, which is really fun. And self-love, inner guidance, and manifestation are the big pieces. And last year, 2023, what we did was worked specifically on the self-love practice. And so this year we're doing manifestation, and there is intimate and intricate connection and corresponding between self-love and your manifestations. But it's not just self-love. This is really important. It is the practice of self-love. That means if you're over here on this scale, and let's say you were just born with parents who all day, every day, were looking in the mirror at their own beautiful faces saying, oh, I deserve the very best in life and I lovingly allow myself to accept it. And therefore they taught you that. Yes, people are laughing because most of us did not have parents that were doing that. Some of us had parents who were being kind to us, but they were very often being self-flogging and self-critical to them. And others of us had parents who were really critical to us and critical to them, and it kind of kept rolling down. But whether you had someone who was already up there on the practicing of self-love, or you're like, dude, we just don't do that at all. We do a lot of harshness and self-criticism and mush doggy. The interesting piece about this is we all, to some degree, love ourselves. We wouldn't feed ourselves and sleep and have some sort of roof over our head if there wasn't some semblance of, well, I want to survive, which is the biggest piece of keeping ourselves going. Or we could be way down on the, I'm really sort of working at it. There is not some, I either love myself or I don't. And that's one of the first things we got to get rid of because it doesn't help with the manifestation thing. So here's what I want to say to you. Wherever you feel like you are on the self-love thing, when we're done tonight, you're going to be able to go, oh, I can see the connection. Again, not between, do I love myself? Because that means if I don't think I do, then I can't manifest. And if I do, I should be manifesting perfectly. And the truth is, most of us are well aware of the self-critic, the criticism, the harshness. So we all have a little bit of all of it. A lot of us have a lot of this critique, self-criticism, harshness. But the moment we start working, oh, look. Hello, Lincoln. Came to say hi. The moment we start working on practices to love us and honor us, you'll start really watching your manifestations come into play in a much more graceful Godspeed way, which are the fun things. So everybody take all of your stuff from today. Could be things that you felt really good about. Could be things that you were like, that kind of sucked for the day. And for a lot of us, you know, there's some like middle, it was fine. Nice big ol' inhale. And just begin to exhale that all the way out, starting to find where you are in the room or on your bed or on the chair. Nice big long inhale. And as you exhale, it's just a gentle invitation to soften. And again, nice long inhale. And exhaling out, and begin to take note of what you're feeling like in your body. We'll take a mindful moment by noticing the breath. See if it's coming in through the nose or the mouth. Maybe both if your teeth are parted at all. Bring your awareness to the chest and to the belly. And just see what moves. And now I want you to check in with interest and just notice how you're feeling. The body, and your emotions. And we're not going to try to change it or make it be different. We're not going to criticize it for now. Just for these moments we're together, we're just not going to do that. Maybe something feels hurting or painful or tight. So just take note. We're going to honor that. And maybe something feels really good and at ease. And maybe somewhere in the middle. And then take note of your emotional landscape internally. And if you had to put the way you're feeling on one side, are you feeling right now a little more on the satisfied end or a little more on the unsatisfied end? A little more calm or joyful or hopeful or peaceful? Or a little angsty or bored or tired or depressed? Any or all of those words, just notice. Taking a big inhale. And as you exhale, just give yourself a little bit of gratitude for taking a moment to notice. All right, let those eyes float open. There are 5 principles for the practice of self-love. And even though it's not our big project for tonight, the first one is to care about how you feel. Really care about how you feel. And so when you do a check-in like that, you actually noticed, which is a beautiful thing. Why on earth is self-love connected to manifestation? That's kind of like, well, I love manifestation stuff and I love self-love stuff. But I said to you in my Eventbrite stuff, I said that self-love is your superpower for manifestation. So what I'd like all of you to do right now is I want you to think of something that you're working on manifesting. I know Trina was like, hey, all the categories. And it was before we started recording that I said it. So just ish, you're coming to a manifestation thing. So are you more playing around with body stuff? Maybe you want to lose a certain amount of pounds, or maybe you want to heal a particular thing that feels like discomfort or dis-ease or sickness. Or maybe you want to be more flexible. So any of the body stuff. Maybe it's money stuff. I'm working this year on increasing my income by a specific amount. So that's really up on my intender. Along with money, there could be things like job or business or, what you do with your work. Another one is relationships. A couple of my coaching humans, one of them is just having a really rough time with family members that are just kind of they're behaving badly. They're certainly not walking their highest self, and it's being really tough for her. And she just wants some peace. And another one of them is working on. She's just really ready for a really cool relationship, a romantic, significant other relationship. And then the fourth pot is kind of this like personal spiritual growth sort of thing. So does everybody have a thing? And you don't have to tell me what it is, but at least put in the chat if you can find the chat and if that's easy for you. Down at the bottom, if you're on the computer, it's usually now on the 3 dots that says more. And if you click on more, one of the things says chat. And do you have a specific thing that you're working on for tonight? And if you give me like a, yep, I got it. And if you're like, oh, really? Come on, Darcy, I have 7. Oh, take it down to 1 or 2. Body stuff, money stuff, relationship stuff, spirituality stuff. And if you're like, yep, I got it. I'll wait about another just moment. Don't freak out if you can't find the chat. It's, oh, look, they all just popped in. Excellent. Somebody said body stuff. Somebody said, yep, I got it. I know there's, oh, thank you. Oh, how cute are you guys? So some of you are doing it specifically to me, some to everyone. So I'll just kind of keep those other ones. I will say that probably there's some in all of those. Here's the big cool thing. This is really important. How many of you, excellent, perfect, good. Oh, so look, we've got kind of everything. We've got family. So we've got relationship stuff. We've got body stuff. We've got money stuff. And then, all right, we're going to go with that. How many of you already know some of the things that you think you're supposed to do, or you're supposed to do in order to get from where you are now to that thing that you want to either get rid of or get, to manifest? You're sitting right here today. How many of you go, well, I know some of the processes that I'm supposed to use to manifest, or I know what to do to change my body. I know what to do to increase my income or to get rid of my debt. I know what to do to have more peaceful relationships. How many of you do you go, I know some of the things, but I don't do them all the time? And I'm going to sort of look, or you can just put a little if you're like, yep, I know some of the things, you could, yep. And the way I love how somebody just put that is they didn't say, yes, I know. They wrote, yep. I think that's the way we say it. Like, yeah, I kind of know some of those things. Perfect. Yes. People are going, yeah. So here it is. Yes, I know, right? We're like, oh, yeah. Here's why I'm so glad you came to this program. I truly, really want you to start embracing the belief that your number one job, oh, I have goosebumps, whether it's to make your own life the most amazing that you want, or if you're like, I really want to help heal the planet, from a teeny little thing that feels very just you, all the way up to making a big difference with people that matter to you, all the way up to healing the planet. I'm telling you truly, self-love is your job. The reason I asked you the question, like, how many of you know some of the things to do? We have a tendency to know what to do, then to not do it at all, or do it for a while and then get bored or get tired or get frustrated, or like we don't have enough energy. And then when we stop, what do? Everybody, when you know a thing to do and you don't, there is much flogging and self-criticism and looking at their, yes, oh my God, it's the shame, it's the guilt, it's the I suck. And sometimes we can pop out of shame, guilt, I suck, it's all bad, I was wrong, I did it wrong, I keep doing it wrong, I'm not doing it right. And then sometimes we can flop over onto the other side, which is the real victim kind of thing. Like, I've tried everything and it just doesn't work for me. It works for other people, but not for me. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take all that off of us mentally. We're going to go like this. It's common humanity. It is common humanity. So we are not going to freak out about it anymore. What we're going to do from this moment forward is we're going to allow our bright, beautiful, pragmatic, linear, rational mind, which sometimes gets us into trouble. We're going to use it. And we're going to go like this. Oh, wait a minute. Was there ever a child of yours or somebody else's that you had to take care of? Or a four-legger that, puppies, kittens, and then they got older? Maybe a good friend, maybe parents, maybe a spouse or significant other that you actually really had to take care of. And across the board, no matter who's listening to this, the answer is, oh my God, yes. If I took the same amount of effort for me and the things that are calling to my soul, the same amount of effort for me, the things I want to manifest, that I did for my now 20-year-old son, I would have like astounding amounts of experiences in my life that I go, that was so awesome. That was so awesome. If your tendency and my tendency is to go, I know the things to do, but I don't do it. So now I'm going to flog myself for not. I just want you to go like this. Well, that just doesn't work. It's common humanity, but it's not really working to shift it. If I can hatch the willingness to practice self-love, what happens is then we start taking the effort to do the things we already know to do. And don't let the simplicity of that get past you. There are two major things, by the way, starting next month for the next 7 with this self-love as your manifestation superpower. I'm going to go through the 7 steps of conscious co-creation one at a time. Next month, I'm going to go, blah, here's all 7. I actually did a whole program on this, but I'm just going to give it to you. And then in the following months, we're going to go, we're going to go, oh, how does me practicing loving myself show up in taking that step? It's pretty awesome. But for right now, here's what I want you to really know. We're going to do a practice right now. Everybody take the thing that you are working on manifesting right now. Family stuff, money stuff, body stuff. If I was magic and I could go like this, and I could alight it upon all of our heads. Like, oh, it's there right now. I'm experiencing that. I want you to either raise your hand and say out loud 2 or 3 qualities, or I'm going to ask you if you're willing to type into the chat. What are 2 or 3 qualities that you would feel literally if all of a sudden your body was like, it's exactly as I've been wanting it? If your family stuff was changed in a way that you're like, wow, the healing of all of us, it's amazing. If your money stuff, you're like, oh my gosh, I wanted to have a certain extra amount come in and like, there it is. 2 or 3 qualities. This is really important. That's why I wanted you to have like a specific. So everybody take a big breath. Exhale out. use your little kid pretending nature. We have the faculty of imagination that never leaves us. It's always possible. We can always dig it up. How would you feel? How would you feel? Let's say I see you in 6 months or a month, and you're like, Darcy, oh my God, remember when we were talking about that manifestation thing? And I started doing the self-love stuff and started practicing my manifesting, because the more I practice self-love, I took the effort to do the steps and I got it. Oh yeah, somebody put them in. I'm going to put it in too. Really think through, like if you go like this, it's done. It's there for you. 2 or 3 qualities. You can do more than that if you want. Okay. Joy. Ooh, wonder. Gratitude. Peaceful. Proud. Happy. Joyful. Empowered. Elated. Confident. Buoyant. Okay. Everybody right now for a second. Notice what happens to you when all we're doing is we're just saying these words: joy, wonder, gratitude, peaceful, proud, happy, joyful, empowered, elated, confident, buoyant, free. Feel that. Here's the big piece for tonight that's like, why are we not teaching this to little kids starting in like middle school and then high school and then college? If you've come to a manifestation class, and when I asked you, how many of you know some things that you need to be doing to manifest? And we're all like, of course. Yep. Yep. You probably know these two. There are lots of different people and books and speakers that will say this is how to manifest. And honestly, probably all of them have really great points. For sure. For sure. There are 2 wildly important pieces. One is we must get to the feeling of how we think we're going to feel before we do it, in order to shift our vibration to be able to bring in and manifest and attract. And it is effort. It is effort. If I'm feeling sick, one of the things I must do to manifest is to shift into feeling how I think I'll feel. How do you feel well when you're sick? Well, how do I feel thin when I'm heavy? How do I feel wealthy or abundant when I don't have enough money coming in? And everybody just showed me that you could. Because do you notice how even just when you just say the words, there's a little bit of a like a, I would feel like that, even if it's only a teeny shift. So truly, we are so used to, in our Euro-American sort of ways, we are used to either wrestling the thing to the ground, effort, work, rah, 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 which is really important. Action steps are really important. Or I used to be the director of a spiritual healing arts center. And I would call people on this all the time. The other side of, if we're not wrestling it to the ground, is kind of this like, I know about manifestation. I know that I can just meditate and visualize and focus and affirm, and it will be done unto me. And the truth is, it is wildly important to take the internal shift to go, how do I think I'll feel? And yes, do the affirmations. I love when my body feels happy and well. I have wonderful relationships that get more and more peaceful and connected and loving all the time. I love feeling abundant, and I bring in more money and prosperity day after day. There are affirmations, there are visualizations, there's what we just did, which is activating an emotion on demand. So there's this whole invisible realm, visuals, law of attraction, specifically in terms of, I'm just going to try to feel it, act as if. How would you walk in your body? How would you talk to other people? How confident would you feel? It's the faking it till you make it. But the other half is wildly important too, and that's the action steps. I'm here to say to you what I know you know is true somewhere in your soul. If you wrestle it to the ground, we can create, we can get it done, but we are exhausted at the end and there's not a lot of satisfaction. And a lot of times it doesn't show up the way you want anyway. And it feels delicious and wonderful to go, oh, I'm going to let the universe assist me here. And I'm telling you what you already know, which is both, a balance of both. And here's what's bizarre. If I'm not practicing self-love, I won't take the time to do the action step because it's work. But listen to this. If I'm not practicing self-love, I also am not going to take the effort, because it's effort, to try to right now before it's happened go, how will I feel? Isn't that wild? Now, can you imagine if my little kid, he was a gigantic pain in the hiney for the first 3.5 years because he was what Dr. William Sears, who I love. He was a Harvard trained pediatrician who was all about loving attachment parenting. The description of Nicholas, my kid, was a high need baby. So almost all the time we had to be holding him and rocking him and looking at him and breastfeeding him. And he would only sleep teeny little bits and it was exhausting. But I did it. Why'd I do that? Because I could feel the preciousness of him. The reason I said to you that self-love is your job, whether you want to manifest the stuff you want, or whether you want to heal the world, or whether you want to be amazing to all the people that you come in contact with, I promise you that's your job, because you get more bang for the buck when you practice self-love, when you practice honoring the sacredness of your soul. It's holding yourself as precious and lovable and valuable and worthy within, because that's the only time we're going to do the stuff. Isn't that cool? All right. Let me see if I got all the things. Self-love is your superpower. Why do you need to do it? Because you need to love you to do both. The invisible, spiritual law of attraction, visualize it, acting as if. A mentor of mine who I just love was talking about, he was just doing a thing with Eckhart Tolle and he was like saying the same thing everybody's saying now. He's like, well, yeah, really the real way to manifest is just, you got to feel the thing before it happens. I'm cracking up because I have a 5-step process. It's a program. It's 5 steps to feel it first. It's amazing though, how much effort it takes. If I feel sick, or if I feel heavy, or if I feel broke or scared about money, or if I feel like the people around me are annoying me, or if I feel off and out of my spiritual alignment, it takes effort to go, I'm going to be willing to love me enough to do that thing that takes effort. And on the other side is like the actual action steps. God, can you imagine? Think of the last person you were taking good care of. Maybe it was today. Maybe it was somebody at work who said, look, I really need this thing. Or maybe you had promised somebody you were going to do something. Or maybe somebody was sick or they needed your love or compassion. Now, can you imagine if you were all lined up and you had that like you could feel how much you love them or how much you're like, it's yours to do. That work is yours to do. And if you're like this, nah, I just don't really feel like it right now. And that's kind of, up until this point, what we have done to us. No flogging about that. Because here's the big juicy piece. Then we're going to do a practice and I'm going to open it up for questions. And Karen, I want you to get this juicy piece before you need to take off. You guys, here's what's cool. Our tendency as a culture has been, I will love whoever it's easy to love. But I myself find things that I can criticize about myself. So I can't really love me because I have to fix the yucky stuff before I'm lovable. And I just want you to know that that's 100% wrong. It's invalid. It's inaccurate. It doesn't mean you're bad or wrong. It's just not true. The whole thing about self-love that's so delicious is, oh my God, ready? It's just a choice. The same way that I adore my three favorite people, my significant other and my son and my mom. And there are things about all three of them that drive me a little crazy. But it's also the parts that I love about them, their weirdnesses and their weaknesses and their vulnerability. And it's because there's enough of that ability for me to see their preciousness that I go, yep, yep, their weirdnesses and weaknesses. And we could do that for us. We could literally just choose. And this goes back to what I said at the beginning. We're not going to just choose to love ourselves. We're going to choose to practice loving us. That means I'm allowed to do it awkwardly and it can feel dorky and dumb. It's just a practice. It's just a practice. And what I promise you is, as you start putting the practice of self-love, and I'm going to give you two tonight, into place, I really want you to keep an eye on these things that you feel like you already know to do to manifest. And I want you to take gentle notice of like, I did one of those. And sometimes they don't feel connected, but I'm going to tell you that they're connected. The more I do my self-love work, and I have cool programs, and you can find books out there. There's a brand new one I didn't listen to yet. It's called Worthy by, I might say this wrong, Jamie Kern Lima. I think it came out from Hay House, which is one of my favorite positive publishing houses. We're just going to start the practice of it. And what's interesting is I've been doing my self-love practice more and more. And Chris, my significant other, goes, "Hey, Darce, you've been telling me you wanted to do that. You just like did it." I go, "I'm so excited." And that's what starts to happen. It's like the more we do this, you'll just notice. It's not like you're going to wake up tomorrow and be like, "I'm healed, I'm fixed, it's manifested." Because it's all a practice and it's all a process, but it gets delicious. Here's the first process I want to give you. Put your hand on your heart. Because we're working not just with self-love right now, but with manifesting. And pretend that for right now, look at the thing you're talking about. Is it your body stuff? Is it your money stuff? Is it your humans? Look at the thing that you said you wanted to manifest. Knowing what we just talked about, which is both sides are wildly important. The feeling it first, the visualizing you as if, the pretending like it's already there, taking the emotion to go, God, what will I feel like when it's done? So the invisible, spiritual, visualizing, affirming, the affirmation, self-talk, and the action steps. Now, what I'm going to say to you is, if you're a person that normally wrestles it to the ground, I'm going to tell you there's a very good chance that this side is what's there for you to do. Like, could you just release for a little bit and go, could you spend 2 minutes every day going, God, that would feel so good if I already was that, if I already lived that, looking at those, elated, confident, buoyant, proud, happy, peaceful, powerful, sassy, sexy, excited, at ease, relieved. And if you're a person that when you've done manifesting, If you've been like, well, I do my regular work over here, but when I manifest, it's very spiritual. So, no, no, no. I'll just meditate on it for a little bit. Maybe I'll, say a prayer or I'll affirm 1 or 2 times and then I'm done. If you normally, with this thing you're manifesting, if you've normally been on this side, then probably it's time for you to do an action step. I say probably because you're going to ask your own inner guidance. And if you've been wrestling it to the ground, there's a very good chance that you doing the invisible work, the feeling first, acting as if. So here is a question. It is a self-love practice, and it's so simple and it's very powerful. And I would like you to take this with you all month long. And that is to ask this question. Now, for tonight, we're asking it about manifesting, but it can be for anything. Put your hand on your heart. Taking a nice big inhale. And as you're talking specifically about, man, there is this thing I really do. I want to manifest it. I want to experience it. I want the relief of it. I want the joy of it. I want to be proud of me because I did it. I want to feel the wonder and the awe, like, whoa, I participated with the universe. I did it. I worked with the universe. Thinking of that whole thing, I want you to now ask this question. And this is the question I want you to use all month. If I chose to be kind to myself, what do I need right now? And specifically, we're talking about, is it an acting as if visualizing energy invisible work? We'll say energy invisible work, the feeling it, or is it the action step? For my particular manifestation, again, put your hand back on your heart and really trying to go between those two for tomorrow or today or whenever it is, it's time for me to play in this. I'm going to say the words and I'm going to ask you to whisper them to yourself. If I chose to be kind to myself, if I chose to be kind to myself, what do I need right now in order to manifest this? What do I need right now in order to manifest this? Is it more the invisible feeling work or is it an action step? And then I'm going to ask you to write down somewhere. You don't have access to this chat because I didn't set it up that way tonight. Because when you leave in 3 days, like 3 days, no, you're going to leave in a few minutes. But when you go back to this, if you're like, oh, what was that? Was I supposed to do more of the feeling, acting as if, visualizing, affirming work? Or was it time for me to do action steps? And I want you to tell me which one you got. So everybody do that again. Hand on your heart. Think about the thing you want to manifest. If I chose to be kind to myself, what do I need right now? Specifically in terms of my manifesting. Is it the feeling invisible work or the action step? And type in which is your work, at least for tonight, at least for the next couple days, maybe just for now. I got feel it first. Feeling. I'm looking for some of the other ones. Now it's funny, there are some things that I wrestle to the ground. There are some things that I'm like, I'm a little scared of the action, so I'll just feel it. That's why you ask that question. And it's a really, really self-loving question. I told you I'm going to give you 2 self-love processes. The first self-love process, oh, good, another feeling. Isn't that wild? And you guys, that's the thing. It takes effort. That's why it's a self-loving process to even ask the question, because it's so easy to just keep doing human busyness work, right? Go do some laundry. Maybe I'll do a little piece of that. Maybe I'll do some of this. It's like, hold on. And did you notice that it felt really good to feel the thing? By the way, when you hear the cliff notes of what really is like extra credit with self-loving, ready? I got my little that's why universe talks to me. That's my inner guidance. The real thing you do is you feel it first, even just a couple of minutes, doesn't even take long. And then from there, you say, hey, what's one action step that will move me toward my goal? But for right now, your first self-love practice that you can use specifically for your manifestation is to say, if, and in your head, it's capital if I did. Because if you say, if I chose to be kind to myself, your critic won't come and jump all over you because you're like, I may or may not be kind to myself. If I did, if I chose to be kind to me, if I did, what do I need right now? And you can use it for everything. Do it through the day when you're feeling off, when you're a little too busyness mode, when you're mad about something, when you're sad about something, when you're nervous about something, when you're exhausted. Hand on your heart, take a breath, and just ask, if I chose to be kind to myself, what do I need right now? And then the other thing I want to give you, and then we're going to leave. Let's see how many questions. The self-love practice of doing gratitude to your wonderful body. Gratitude. I've got a weird little thing on, so I can't really. Ready? You're going to touch and you're going to say, wow, thank you, head. Thank you, forehead. Oh, thank you, eyeballs. If there aren't people staring at you, please do this with me. Thank you, face. Oh, thank you, ears. Thank you, neck. Thank you, neck. You don't even have to think you believe it. Thank you, shoulders. Thank you, rotator cuffs. Thank you, back. Thank you, chest. We're all women here. Thank you, boobs. If you're a dude watching it recorded, thank you, chest. I don't know if we say boobs on guys. Thank you, rib cage. Thank you, belly. Oh my God, there are so many internal organs that I don't even have any idea what they do. Thank you for just moving around and doing your thing. Thank you, back. Spine, are you kidding me? The nervous system. Thank you, butt. Thank you, upper legs. Are you touching your body? It's really important. Touch is an amazing thing. We have little kids still inside us. We're not like all mature and grown up. Thank you, knees. Thank you, shin and calf and foot. Thank you, knees. Thank you, shin and calf and foot. Your two self-love practices. One is, if I chose to be kind to myself, what do I need right now? And in terms of manifestation, is it more about feeling right now? Or is it more about action right now on the thing? Checking into your inner guidance. I love you guys. I'm really glad you were here. And the second self-love practice is honestly that quick. Or you could do a whole, if you want to email me, or if you want to put your email in there, I can send you guys, but I don't know your emails. I can send you, I have a gratitude body scan. It's lovely, but you can literally just look at your body and touch it for real and be like, wow, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because the alternative is not having the body. I love you guys. I'm really, really glad that you are here. I'm going to turn off the recording and then I'm going to see, you guys tell me what your takeaway is for this month. And if you have any questions. So I'm going to turn this off. The recorded and watching people, see you next time.